Okay, welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. We all know that it is Black History Month, so I need to get on making some Black History stuff. All right. So noted that I did some Black martial artists, and I'm just gonna do some more Black athletes, Black fighters, and some Black other heroes, so to speak. So by all legends, we have John Henry, we have Frederick Douglass, we have what the hell is the guy named that did the peanut butter and the traffic light? I can't think of his name, but you guys know who he is, and if not, you can go search for him on the internet. So I want to classify boxing now. There are a lot of great black boxers. I'm not going to refer to anybody that is American born black as African American, because if you are not from Africa and immigrated over here, you are not African American. If your parents did not immigrate from Africa over here, and both parents being from Africa, and then they have you, and then you are born here, then you're African American and not black. Now we got that little black history out the way. Let's get started. So some of the greatest boxers in history have been black. I can only give you the boxers that I know. I want to start with the late great Sweet Pea Whitaker, who lived in Norfolk, just down the road from us here in Virginia. Now, Sweet Pea Whitaker's life was tragically taken by him being in the accident. He was hit by a truck or something. So we want to pay homage to Sweet Pea Whitaker first, just due to the fact for lightweight champions, the Oscar De La Hoya Sweet Pea Whitaker fight, in my opinion, personal bias, because I'm being mixed, and Oscar De La Hoya is Mexican. I'm not Mexican. Sweet Pea Whitaker is black. I'm half black as well as Native American and white. But Sweet Pea Whitaker also being from Virginia, so my personal bias is that he's the hometown boy that made good. So no offense to Oscar, but they robbed Sweet Pea Whitaker. Alright, now, Sweet Pea Whitaker was a pretty good boxer. He rarely lost, and you can go check his record because I don't have time to get into that because we've got more boxers to cut through. Alright, so we go from Sweet Pea Whitaker to Sugar Ray Leonard, and then we have the greatest Muhammad Ali. You gotta have Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, James Buster Douglas, Riddick Bowe. Who am I missing? Morris, George Foreman. There's a lot of other guys, and if I don't name you, it's not because I don't like you. It's more than likely that I don't forget who the hell you were, or I don't know you. But there are a lot of famous black boxers, and we should all pay homage to them in Black History Month, because here's how the sporting world works, alright? I'm about to offend a lot of people who are not of color, so let me apologize to you now. So if you are white, I apologize. If you are Asian, you're just making your way into the American mainstream, so again, I apologize, because I'm going to drop some true facts now. For a long time in the sporting game, blacks were not allowed to participate. And that goes for whether it was baseball, football, basketball, hockey, like they really wanted to do that, and tennis. In the sports realm, and I know you guys, I'm going to get back on boxing, but I know this is a very important part because boxing also included in this. They did not really allow people of color to participate in this shit, And what people don't understand is that if you don't get a chance to participate, you won't know. So when some of the first black boxers came in, they basically was punching bags because they didn't know how to box. But that all changed when Muhammad Ali got on the scene and became the greatest boxer of all time. Now you got Joe Frazier, and you got, again, some other cats coming up in there. Joe Frazier, Joe Louis, what the fuck's the guy's name? Foreman beat him. I can't remember the name. Marvin Hagley. I didn't say that right, but you guys get where I'm going. I can't name them all. I can only name the ones that I can clearly remember. Vander Holyfield. You remember these guys. You only remember Buster Douglas because he's the only person in history to ever have knocked out Mike Tyson. So that's kind of why you remember that. But then he was a paper champion because he turned around and got knocked out by Riddick Bowe. So you see how that was. He didn't even get to defend the title because he just couldn't hold the title, which only proves that him and Mike Tyson was a fluke. But for the longest time in sports history, blacks were not allowed to participate. And here was the thing about that. The sports commissions, and I again apologize to people who are not of color, or who are not black rather, the sports commissions knew that if black people had got involved in sports, it would change the game. And it literally has changed every game throughout the end of time since Muhammad Ali stepped into that ring. Out of the fact that Muhammad Ali stepped into that ring, all of a sudden you have black boxers busting up gyms, coming out of nowhere, and whooping ass. Period. It's the same thing that's happening now with Asian boxers, because Asian boxers are coming out of the woodwork. I'm telling you, y'all better stop sleeping on these Asian boxers, man. They're coming out of the woodwork. They're not doing kung fu. They're straight doing American boxing. And you may not see it coming now, but keep your eyes on ESPN 1, 2, and 3, and you will eventually see them. So they're coming. But the thing was, every cycle of human being, or every color of human being, has a surgence. And when they have that surgence in their sports activity of their choosing, they will surprise you. The blacks surprised everybody in damn near every sport that they've done, but we're specifically doing boxing. So after Muhammad Ali, after Frazier, after Foreman, once Tyson got on the scene, the surgence increased again. So, you have to remember, with every generation there's been an insurgence. For sports, it was Arthur Ashe for tennis. I can't tell you how many black people in football changed the size and scope, but my favorite football player of all time was Bo Jackson. Now, before Bo Jackson, I had a favorite. It was Mean Joe Green, Lynn Swann, Franco Harris, who technically is mixed, and then the white cat, what the hell was his name? Terry Bradshaw. All right? Then you got the white cat, Lyle Alzado, and the Refrigerator Perry and Walter Payton. Those are guys I looked up to and watched, and then you have the one and only, the G-A-O-T or the G-O-A-T, however the fuck you spell GOAT, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was my generation's LeBron James. So you have to remember that and then there's also Magic Johnson, Julius Erving, Wilt Chamberlain. The list goes on and on of black people who have made a stomping difference inside the sports arena. The reason why I went to boxing and I jumped off track to all these other sports was to make a point, because this is Black History Month, and those are a few famous black people in sports today that you could probably Google, that if you ask someone who's coming up, if you ask like the newer, younger, hungrier people coming up in sports, who did they idolize, those names that I gave you, guaranteed to be on there. There are not too many male black tennis players, which is why Arthur Ashe is an enigma amongst himself. But if you ask people of today, black tennis players, the only thing they're really going to give you is the Williams sisters, the half-Japanese black chick whose name I can't pronounce, the new black chick that just beat one of the Williams sisters whose name I also can't pronounce. So I'm not trying to be a dick because I can't pronounce your name. It's just that I can't pronounce your name. But as for Black History Month, celebrate those black athletes that are coming up, because, they have big shoes to fill. Alright? And try to remember that. And also, when it comes to sports in general, when black people got on the scene, it upped the game and it upped the money. And when things up the game and up the money, everybody starts paying attention. I'm James Williams Jr. Happy Black History Month. This is Comfort Avenue number 2, BC and U.